74% of people feel positively about self-help books. 85% of psychologists recommend them for their clients. And 60% of people are totally cool with letting others know that they've read a self-help book. That last stat there is probably one of the best marketing strategies of all time. But in a bit, I'm going to be sharing with you a stat that actually pushed me to start reading a little bit more. Today, I'm going to be breaking down 3 books that will make me a millionaire. Hopefully. And might just do the same for you. Now, growing up, I hated reading. I dreaded textbooks, procrastinated on English assignments, and if there weren't colorful pictures in it, then forget about it. Basically, I wasn't necessarily book smart. If that at all sounds like you, then stick around. I'm going to save you some time and break down 2 major takeaways from each of these books that hopefully that you can apply to your financial journey. Plus, at the end, I'm going to be sharing a few things that are very similar in each of these financial books. Oh, and by the way, that stat that kind of pushed me to start reading a little bit more, 55% of people say that a self-help book has actually affected their life in a positive way. So I figured, why not? That was enough for me to give it a shot. But again, let's be real. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I don't necessarily read the books, but I'll stick to audiobooks for the most part. But as you can see, I do read some. So if you hate reading and you rather listen to some dude on the internet talk about how he spends time reading, then consider dropping a like. These are the 3 books. We'll start with book number 1. I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. Now this book is a no BS. Whoa. I hurt myself sitting down just now. Now this book is a no BS way to building wealth without giving up your lattes. I found it overall pretty entertaining. I listened to the audiobook, but I did physically read it as well. If you want to listen to the audiobook, Ramit actually reads it himself. He's an overall pretty eccentric guy, entertaining dude. The first takeaway from this book is to automate your finances. This one really set a fire under me. Basically set up systems where your bills, your investments, your savings are all automated so you don't have to think about them more than one time a year. This removes willpower from the equation and always just makes sure that you're moving in the right direction without having to overthink it all the time. The second major takeaway from this is a conscious spending plan. Basically a budget. There's a free one in the description, by the way. Instead of strict budgeting, allocate money towards things you love and cut back mercilessly on things that you don't. Money should be a tool, not a source of guilt. Having the money laid out in front of you, seeing exactly where your money is going, might be shocking to most people. So give it a shot. And again, free one in the description. Let me know if you want it, or actually just take it. It's free. And again, seeing it laid out might create a paradigm shift for you. Now, let's talk about book number 2. Book number 2, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Covey? Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it properly. Stephen points out that success isn't about hacks. It's about habits. This was actually the first book that made me feel like it wasn't impossible to be successful. It was actually the book that encouraged me to start this YouTube channel. So the first takeaway is begin with the end in mind. So the way to kind of envision this is to have a clear vision of your financial goals and work backwards. Basically to create a plan. Without long-term vision, short-term money decisions won't align with where you want to actually go or where you want to be. Think of it this way. Let's say your end goal is to be debt-free. Work backward to create a plan and ask yourself some serious questions. Who will I be when I'm debt-free? How long will it take me to be debt-free? What can I live without so I can continue that journey to becoming debt-free? These are the things that I'll ask myself when I first started my debt journey, when I was trying to eliminate $100,000 worth of debt. This will kind of open up different paths for you when you ask yourself these questions. It'll really get you to think critically. The next major takeaway from this book is to put first things first. Focus on important but not urgent financial tasks, like investing and learning new skills. These might not feel urgent today, but they will determine your financial future. This is something that I'll do all the time, and this is kind of the best way to think of this, by saying to yourself, my future self will thank me. Like, how many times have you looked back and said, man, I wish my teenage or 20-year-old self wasn't such an idiot? Like, imagine that, but in like 10 years, when your 40 or 50-year-old self is looking back at your 35-year-old self. If you start investing minimally in a year, 5 years, 10 years, you will take a quick look back at yourself and thank yourself. Even just picking up a book. I truly thank myself for picking up this book a few years back, because it led me to where I am today. Now, before we move on to book number 3, it would mean the world to me as a small YouTube creator that you could potentially like, comment, or subscribe to this video. This will tell YouTube to put me in front of other people and potentially help those on their financial journey. So let's continue on to book number 3. So book number 3, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. I don't actually have this book. This one is another one that I actually listened to on an audiobook. So anyway, money isn't just about numbers. It really is a behavior. The book really simplifies how we humans are actually pretty emotional when it comes to money. If you haven't seen my last video on how emotions affect your money, then check it out after this one. Here are a couple of takeaways from this book. Avoid lifestyle creep. As you make more money, don't automatically start upgrading your lifestyle. Stay humble with your expenses, so that way you can actually build long-term wealth. This was a huge trap that I fell into. When I started working in 2005, I was making $7.20 per hour. That's exactly what I was making. Naturally, as my career or work progressed, I started making more money. And for years, I would take those raises or bonuses as extra money to spend, not taking into consideration things like inflation. If you're humble with your expenses, you'll actually become wealthy beyond your wildest imagination. The second takeaway from this book is that your personal finances is personal. There is no one-size-fits-all strategy. Your financial decisions should reflect your values, your goals, your risk tolerance, not what others are doing. There are tons of YouTubers out there, including myself, that will give advice. There are guidelines that exist already that obviously other people have implemented in their lives that have made them successful. But the only person who will keep your money's best interest at heart is you. Learn what you can, apply some of those proven techniques, then you can start to realize that you can make it very personal to you. That's currently the path that I'm on right now. So this is where all three of them really kind of meld together. All three of these books emphasize that wealth isn't just about numbers, it's about behavior. Whether it's Automation from Ramit, Long-Term Vision by Covey, or Understanding Your Emotions from Housel. Your financial success is completely dependent on how you manage your habits, your priorities, and your mindset. So take control of these systems, learn what you can, and you're on your way to financial success. And I'll see you next week.